Good evening and greetings to all on the auspicious occasion of the 71st Republic Day of India. I now request Her Excellency Mrs. Ruchi Ghanashyam, High Commissioner of India to the United Kingdom, to address the gathering.
Thank you so much. Your Excellency, Minister Cleverly, Your Excellency, Speaker Sir Lindsay Hoyle, Ministers from the Cabinet, Your Excellency, Minister of State Lord Ahmed, representing the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, Excellencies, Lords, Ladies, Honorable Members of Parliament, esteemed friends of India, and members of the Indian community in the United Kingdom. Good evening to everyone. My greetings to all of you on the 71st Republic Day of India. Thank you for joining us this evening to commemorate January 26, which is celebrated as India's Republic Day ever since the Constitution of India was adopted this day in 1950. The Constitution enshrines the core principles of liberty, equality, justice, and fraternity that have guided, protected, and shaped our democracy and way of life ever since. 7 decades is a short span of time in a country like ours, with a history of more than 5,000 years. Nevertheless, in these 7 decades, India has made great strides in economic development and social empowerment. Hundreds of millions have been extricated from the shackles of abject poverty. More than half of our population today is under the age of 25. 2/3 are less than 35. Education is therefore empowerment for the over 200 million children going to some 1.6 million schools in India. According to the All India Higher Education Survey of 2019, there are close to 1,000 universities, 40,000 colleges, and 11,000 standalone institutions with a student population of over 40 million. About 13 million graduates pass out of institutions of higher learning every year in India. There are 1.16 million allopathic doctors, 788,000 Ayurvedic and Unani and homeopathy doctors, and over 3 million nursing assistants in the country. Indian doctors, nurses, and other healthcare assistants are also proudly making a positive contribution to healthcare delivery in the UK. In recent years, Government of India has undertaken many an ambitious project. Under the Jan Dhan Yojana, the world's largest financial inclusion scheme, more than 378 million Indians now have bank accounts and access to financing. Ayushman Bharat, the world's biggest health insurance program, targets 500 million Indian beneficiaries. The Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, the largest housing scheme in the world, aims at ensuring that all Indians have a roof over their heads by 2022. Under Ujjwala Yojana, more than 80 million free gas connections have been provided so far to economically deprived households. The government has launched an ambitious Jal Jeevan mission for water conservation, rainwater harvesting, and development of water resources. India will spend US $50 million on this project in the next few years. Addressing climate change for a rapidly developing country like India remains a core policy challenge and a priority. India is expected to achieve most of the COP21 climate change goals set for 2030, and in fact, well in advance of the mandated time frame. India is walking the talk on nationally determined contributions in addressing climate change. We have pledged to increase our renewable energy capacity to 450 gigawatts by 2022. Government of India initiated the International Solar Alliance with 79 signatory countries to the ISA Framework Agreement. ISA aims to promote the use of solar power across the globe. India has also taken the lead in launching a coalition for disaster resilient infrastructure, or CDRI, for developing disaster resilient and sustainable infrastructure. India values UK's important role in both these endeavors. To truly appreciate India's journey and achievements, they must be observed against the backdrop of persistent attempts to destabilize its political, economic, and social foundations. We have been facing the challenge of cross-border terrorism now for over 4 decades, due to which thousands of innocent Indian lives have been lost. As technology advances, the faces of terrorism also mutate into subtle, insidious forms. False narratives and propaganda are spread to create disharmony, threaten peace, and prevent progress. Government of India, however, remains steadfast in ensuring security within and on its borders and has taken progressive administrative measures towards economic development and socio-economic justice in all parts of India, including Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh, a region that has been particularly crippled by decades of cross-border militancy and terrorism. With all our achievements, we believe that there is scope for more work and continuing innovations. We face many challenges, some small and some big. But my generation is confident that young India is capable of successfully innovating its way through all the hurdles towards progress and prosperity. Excellencies, at this juncture, I must also touch upon our relations with the United Kingdom. India and the UK enjoy a close, cordial, and wide-ranging strategic partnership. India considers UK to be a natural partner. Our two countries not only share progressive democracies, but also share values of universal peace and the rule of law. We face similar challenges ranging from terrorism to climate change that can only be tackled collectively by us and the world at large. Our bilateral economic relationship is one of the cornerstones of our strategic partnership. We have a bilateral trade volume of over 20 billion pounds. UK remains amongst the topmost major investor countries in India. Also, a record 842 Indian companies operate in the UK with a combined turnover of over 48 billion pounds. They also pay over 680 million as corporate taxes. Together, they employ 105,000 people within the UK. This does not include the employees of branch operations of Indian corporate companies in the UK. In my travels across the UK and my engagements with many sections of the diaspora, I am delighted to find that this symbiotic relationship is further cemented by what Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls the living bridge of over 1.5 million people constituting the Indian diaspora, which plays a prominent role in bringing the two countries closer. No surprise then that the chicken tikka appears in the list of UK national dishes, and Indian festivals are celebrated with the same fervor in the UK as in India. We are looking forward to launching a report on 4th of February highlighting the economic contributions made by the companies and enterprises owned by British Indians in the UK. Last year, we organized various events across the UK to commemorate the 550th birth anniversary of the first Sikh Guru, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and the 150th birth anniversary of the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, to spread their messages of global peace and harmony. I thank the Indian diaspora for their contributions in these endeavors of the High Commission. Before I close, I would also like to avail of this opportunity to convey our heartiest congratulations to Honorable Members of Parliament, Bob Blackman and Barry Gardner, on receiving Padma Shri, one of the highest civilian awards of India on this Republic Day. India deeply appreciates and values their contributions to strengthening the friendship between our two countries. I also express my gratitude to the Lord Mayor for making this stately venue available to the High Commission. I thank all our officers and members of staff in the High Commission, the consulates in Birmingham and Edinburgh, and honorary consuls in Wales and Northern Ireland, and all of you who have taken the time with us to be here today. I especially thank all the dignitaries who are here with us for sparing their valuable time in such a very, very busy period of time. Thank you so much for coming here this evening, and Jai Hind.